That was this idea that you mentioned of audit no longer being about insight, it's about foresight.
That's an interesting point. It was funny. It was kind of an epiphany for me when I first kind of dawned on me. And I was talking to a friend, and she had mentioned, she said, I hear a lot about insight, but no one ever talks about foresight. And so we talked about what insight was and what it wasn't. And I think I came to the realization that in most instances, and while the standards for auditors say that we should provide insight, we have very limited insight to provide. And the reason we have very limited insight to provide is because we haven't experienced firsthand working in the line, number one, or working in the business proper. We have looked from a outside looking in at a number of different processes, risk, organizations, functions. So we know something about them, but something doesn't promote insight. So rather than fight that battle, which I will never win because everybody believes they have that magical insight, we talked more about foresight, which was a combination of having enough ability to understand something to be able to predict the probability of certain events occurring if behaviors don't change.
Mhm.
So it's different than being a psychic and closing your eyes and saying this is going to happen. It's actually looking at data and experience and saying, I've seen this before. If we don't change this behavior, this is going to occur. And auditors don't do that very much. And I'd argue with anyone that auditors have a better chance of providing valuable foresight than they do insight, simply because they've seen a lot of things, they've experienced a lot of events, and they know, and they can actually link things together, which is a behavior one, behavior two, behavior three is going to get you to behavior four or event number five. They do that exceptionally well. And I think we're missing the boat in the audit business because we don't do that. We're so focused on other stuff that we're really missing an opportunity to provide value to our clients by providing foresight.